We discussed in the last lecture, suppose we wish to evaluate the integration and the form of the function whose integration we wish to make in the certain domain or the range of the function. It is very difficult. So we try to integrate that particular function numerically, and Monte Carlo integration method will help us to integrate such complex distribution, such complex function. So this is the example yesterday we have seen. Suppose we wish to integrate the fx over x cube, okay, in the range of 2 to 5, then how to integrate this? So we say that, let us say this, here we have used the notation fx, but this is, let us say, my hx, and I wish to integrate this particular in the range 2 to 5. So I have to decompose hx into the two part. One is fx and px. Okay, so we have to decompose into the two part, that is the fx and px. So this is what you can see. So hx is there, and we have decomposed into the px and fx, where fx is a production function and px is nothing but the sum probability density function, which is known to us, and we can easily generate a random variables or the numbers from this. So it is nothing but the expectation of fx over the px. So in our setup, we say that, let us say, if I have 0 to 1 fx dx, so what happen? I can multiply with the px. So px is nothing but the uniform. So it is the expectation of fx over the px, and it is as good as that you have to generate the uniform random numbers from px and then supply that value to the fx and obtain the such n numbers and then take the average. It is giving the actually estimate of this integration. And if it is a range from a to b, so then you have to just take the px is 1 upon b minus a, because it is a uniform distribution over the range a to b. So first you have to generate the uniform random numbers x from a to b, and then you have to calculate the expected value of this and multiply with the b minus a. It is giving the integration of fx over a to b. So we have seen some example. Suppose if we wish to obtain the integration of x raised to 4. So how to obtain? So if you can easily obtain the exact integration over the 0 to 1, it is x raised to 5 upon 5. So it is a, if you supply this value, it is a 1 by 5. Now, if you wish to perform the Monte Carlo integration, so let us say this is your x raised to 4, and because the range is 0 to 1, so we will say that px is nothing but the standard uniform, and then we find out the expected value of fx over the px, where px is nothing but the standard uniform random variable. Okay, so what we do, we just generate the x1, x2, xn are the standard uniform random numbers, then calculate the xi raised to 4. Then because it is expectation, it is a simple average, so we find out their sum and divide by n. It will give the answer nearby the 1 by 5. So we have seen that if you take the sample size n equal to 100, what happen? Still that Monte Carlo estimator is not near or converges to the true value. So if we increase the value of n, this Monte Carlo integrator estimator will reach to the true value of the expected value. That is nothing but the, we call them as a theta. So we call them as a theta. So we say that as the n is increasing, this theta cap MC, that is Monte Carlo estimator of the theta is converse to the true value of the theta, and where the true value is nothing but it is integration of a to b hx dx. So that we have seen, and we have seen the certain program. Now we will also see we have earlier see that the whatever integration we have obtained, where we assume that the px is uniform random variable or uniform density. Let us understand one more example. Suppose I wish to integrate find integration over the range 0 to 1, where the function is cos 50x plus sine 20x whole square dx. We know that to obtain exact value of this, it is very difficult. So it is as good as what they have asked. They have asked that integrate 0 to 1 hx dx. Okay. So our aim is that this is, so what is this? This is nothing but actually hx. Hx is equal to cos 50x plus sine 20x whole square. That is the hx. So how to evaluate using the Monte Carlo integration? Evaluate using Monte Carlo integration method. So how to do that? So it is simple thing. What is given? It is given that evaluate this. So can we write this as a fx px dx, where I am saying that hx equal to fx, and that is nothing but cos 50x plus sine 20x all square. And px I am taking, it is a standard uniform, 0 otherwise. So I can write, okay, that means I am trying to find out expected value of px over fx. That is, I am interested to find out expected value of uniform 0 1 cos 50x plus sine 20x all square. Okay, so how to find out? It is nothing but you have to generate the x1, x2, xn from standard uniform, evaluate the every time cos 50 that xi plus sine 20 xi whole square, and then find out their sum divided by n. So what is the algorithm? First step, generate x1, x2, xn from uniform 0, 1. Second, evaluate s equal to, that is the sum of, और हमने इसको कहा क्या था, थीटा कैप, MC equal to summation I running from 1 to n f of xi. F of xi क्या है? It is a cos of 50 xi plus sine of 20 xi whole square divided by how many you have generated? So n. So theta mc cap Monte Carlo integration is estimate of theta, that is expected value of uniform over 0 to 1 fx. It is as good as that. It is integration of 0 to 1 hx dx, and it is nothing but integration of 0 to 1 cos 50x plus sine 20x whole square dx. Okay, any questions? Anyone? If no
No,
questions,
sir.
so should we
No,
try
sir.
to generate string using R? So whenever you know that it is a the range is finite range is given to you, then you can easily use the uniform random variate. Okay, so Monte Carlo integration of what is the function cos dx plus sine 20x whole square over range 0 less than x less than 1. Okay, so we take n equal to 100. What is the a and b? It is a 0. So we generate R unif. How many n? Then we calculate directly theta dot mc is equal to. So here we have to give the function first. So f equal to function of ये है ना यहाँ पे function of x, and what is the function cos 50 into x plus sine 20 into x,
All raised
and
to.
the entire
फिर
brackets.
स्टार्टिंग में ब्रैकेट रहेगा. हाँ.
This is my function. Okay, so now I wish to calculate the average of, that is sum over sum I have calculated of. I have used the sapply function. This is a sum किसका x का, where what is the function? It is a function is f, and then I wish to find out the sum, and after finding the sum I divide it by the n. It is giving me the theta dot mc. It is giving 0.8825. If I'm increasing the, what happened? Now the question I'm asking, what happened to precision of estimator when n is increases. So if I'm increasing the n equal to, let us say, 1000, it is a 0.93. Okay. Now we will calculate the exact integration. Again, it is numerically exact integration value. So how will you can do integrate f over 0, 1. It is giving 0.96. So you can see that when I have given n equal to 100, what was the answer? It is a 0.88. When I have given equal to n equal to 1000, it is a 0.96. Suppose if I am increasing the n as a 10,000, it is a near to the true value. So that means as n increasing, the precision of estimator is also increasing. When I am saying that
Increase.
precision of estimator is increasing, it means that the estimated value of theta cap is converse to theta, almost sure when n tends to infinity. So here now the question is, what happened if we increase n or n tends to infinity? What happened to theta mc cap? So we use strong law of large number. Strong law of large number is saying that the theta cap mc converge to theta, almost sure as n tends to infinity, and that we have seen the numerically. So whatever the estimator we have, that is converse to theta, almost sure as n tends to infinity. So when you increasing the value of n, the estimated value of theta converts to the true value of theta. Okay, just this is a question, and that you can, it is a not. Okay, any questions, anyone?
सर आर कोड पे सर एग्जैक्ट इंटीग्रेशन वाला पार्ट बताइए ना सर.
Only the command name is integrate, and this is the function that we wished to evaluate. The function where we have stored this is, and what is the range of x? Because here x is random variable, it is asking the range. So range is, so you have to supply the lower limit and upper limit. So it is giving the exact value. But
Okay.
again, that is calculated numerically. There are some methods are behind. Here still we are just obtaining the estimate of the Monte Carlo estimator. We are not obtaining their standard errors. Actually, if we can obtain the standard errors. We have seen if I wish to find out the standard error, how to obtain. This is the things we have discussed, na? But we have yet not used the code for that. So that you can try it your way. Suppose this is the integration I wish to evaluate. So what is the estimate? This is the estimate. Then what is the variance of this particular estimator? So it is nothing but this. Estimated value the observe the each observation the value of f at the each value of xij, then you have this estimated value, just subtract this, find out the square, repeat the how many time n time this procedure, and then sum it and divide by n, it is giving the variance of this estimator. Okay, and if you take this square root, so variance is nothing but it is giving the square root of variance is giving the standard errors. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so here it is giving absolute error is 1.9 10 raised to minus 10. So this estimate is obtained with this much of error. Error is less than this. Now let us understand the another example. Suppose it is saying that let x is distributed as normal with mean mu and variance sigma square. And let t be a real number. Okay. The question asked is that approximate the probability that x is less than t. So we wish to estimate what is x. X is given, it is a from a normal distribution with mean mu and variance sigma square. And t is some real number, then it is saying that you find out the probability of x less than t. So we usually see the tables, normal tables, and using the normal tables we can calculate this. But the normal tables are, it is nothing but it is approximated value, because we know that we cannot directly get the value of the probability in the normal exact. So some numerical method is used to generate this table. So it is saying that using Monte Carlo integration. Okay. So whatever the tables we have given, the tables are given of a standard normal. Okay, would mean is 0 and variance is 1. So you can use the affine transformation to evaluate the probability from the mean mu and variance sigma square. So that we see later. Here directly we try to generate we try to find out the probability of x less than t when it has the mean mu and variance as x as the variance is sigma square. So for example, if we consider, for example, mu equal to pi, and if you take sigma equal to 1.25, and real number t is equal to 7.1. So what we wish to actually calculate, x is less than t, that is probability that x is less than 7.1. So because x is the normal distribution, so we wish to evaluate minus infinity to 7.1 fx dx. And what is fx? It is a 1 upon root 2 pi sigma. Sigma is nothing but, I'm writing here, for sigma e raised to minus half x minus mu upon sigma whole square dx. That is how they wish to evaluate minus infinity to t 1 upon root 2 pi into 1.25 into e raised to minus half into 1.25 square x, it is x minus mu. Mu is nothing but pi whole square dx. So this integration you have to evaluate using the Monte Carlo. Can we use the uniform distribution? Can we write this as a fx hx? Fx is this and the px is equal to 1. Can we? कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ रेंज क्या है, द रेंज इज माइनस इंफिनिटी टू टी, so it is not the finite range is given, so we cannot use the earlier concept we have used, so we do something different. Okay, so solution. Here we have not given some function of g, function fx is not given. So what we do, can we write this as a probability of x less than t is equal to minus infinity to t 1 into 1 upon root 2 pi sigma e raised to minus half x minus mu upon sigma square dx. This we can write from this minus infinity to t. Okay, plus can I write this, if you allow me, t to infinity 0 into 1 upon root 2 pi sigma e raised to minus half x minus mu by sigma whole square dx. Can we write?
Yes, sir.
Because 0 into this, so that part is gone, and ultimately we are getting the same. It is nothing but probability of x less than t. Okay. Thus, what is the fx in our setup? Thus, it gives fx equal to, what is fx? It is a indicator variable. Indicator variable, it takes value 1 when x less than t. हो गया ना? x लेस देन t है, तब fx की वैल्यू क्या होगी? 1 होगी. तो यहाँ पे हम लिख सकते हैं, this is fx, it takes value 1 when x less than t. It takes value 0 when x greater than t. तो ये मेरा fx हो गया, ये मेरा क्या हो गया? px हो गया. So can I write this as a in the form of fx and px? So I x less than t be an indicator function for the set x less than t, and let px be the normal density. That is px equal to 1 upon root 2 pi sigma e raised to minus half x minus mu upon sigma square, where x is lies between minus infinity to infinity. Can we write? Then, what is my probability of x less than t? Probability of x less than t is nothing but range is
minus
x की
infinity
range
to
क्या
t.
है? Real line
Yes.
minus infinity to infinity.
Yes, sir.
And what is the fx? Fx is my indicator variable, and px is my this density function, and this is nothing but the expected value of fx over ix less than t. Sorry, expected value of not fx over px. Is a px. Px is nothing but it is a normal. Thus, our Monte Carlo approximation क्या होगा? Our Monte Carlo approximation is given by theta cap mc equal to क्या होगा? कोई बता सकता है? Anyone? So fx लिखते थे ना, fx क्या है? It is my indicator variable divided by n. So I xi less than t 1, okay, and I xi greater than t is 0. So that means I takes value 1 if xi less than t. तो आप क्या करेंगे? xi को आप जनरेट करेंगे नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन से, और उसको जनरेट करने के बाद आप क्या करेंगे? चेक करेंगे generated value of xi is less than t. Yes, then you assign the 1, and then you assign the, otherwise you can assign the 0. कर सकते हैं?
Yes.
It's very simple things. See, sometimes we feel that how to solve this, but think out of box, try other way. Okay, sometimes it may help you to get the solution. So how to generate this? So let us go to the evaluate probability that x less than t when x follows normal mean mu variance sigma square using Monte Carlo method. Okay. What is the T? T is equal to 7.1, mu equal to 5, and sigma equal to 1.25. So first we define the function f. What is f? F is nothing but function of x and t. Okay. If x less than t, what will you do? Return 1. अब हम यहाँ पे रिटर्न का यूज कर रहे हैं, else return 0. Okay. Earlier we can also directly write, if x less than 2 t, then I equal to 1 and otherwise I equal to 0. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या कर रहे हैं, सीधा ही 1 and 0 की सीक्वेंस क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. Okay. Then what we do next? We wish to generate the, let us say, 1000 samples. And what is the after 1000 samples? तो कहाँ से generate करेंगे 1000 sample? We know that we have in R norm. How many? 1000. What is the mean? Mean equal to pi. And standard deviation, because वहाँ variance नहीं लेता है, SD लेता है, तो standard deviation is 1.25. Okay. And then we get estimate of theta. What is the same sum as apply? Function is f. Sorry, first you have to give the sample, then you give the functions. Okay. And what is the t? So t is equal to 7.1. That you have to also supply. Because f is looking for a t. So x यहाँ से मिलेगा f को, t यहाँ से मिलेगा. Okay. And then you can sum it and divide by the n. Then you can get theta dot mc. So in this step क्या कर रहे हैं? Generate sample of size n from the density px is, what is it? Is a normal with mean phi and standard deviation is equal to 1.25. Second step, get the estimate of Monte Carlo estimate. Okay, so let us try to generate. So written spelling is mistake. It has given the 0.964. What is the probability? It is a 0.964. Okay. So how will you verify whether we have generated the correct probability or not? Any idea? So you have a command pnorm. What is the value of x? It is a p, it is a 7.1, and mean is 5, and SD is 1.25. It is 0.9535, and we are getting 0.964. Okay. If you can generate, you may get another. It is a 0.95. Okay. So likewise, you have to repeat how many times such processes. Let us say you repeat the 100 times such processes. Okay, let us say अगर n हमने यहाँ ले लिया है तो हम उसको b कहते हैं. How many times you wish to repeat? Let us say b time. B is equal to 100 times. Then such every time you estimate the theta dot mc, find out that, and then you can find out the overall average of this, and then theta dot mc minus the overall average, and that's square, and that sum divided by n minus 1. It is giving the variance of estimator. Okay. So I'll give somebody to this in the seminars. One more examples that you have to think. It is in the homework. Let x is exponential with 0.5. That means scale parameter is 0.5 exponential theta. B and exponential random variable with rate equal to 0.5. Approximate probability of x greater than 2 using Monte Carlo approximation. And check your answer. So in R, similar to pnorm, we have a pxp command using pxp command. Okay. So same way you have to estimate. Here you have given the x is 0.5, that is exponential with 0.5, and the density is 0 to infinity. So here the density is 0 to infinity. So do we really need करना पड़ेगा इसमें? यहाँ पे भी क्या होगा? 0 to 2 and 2 to infinity. So we wish to evaluate the 2 to infinity. So it means that we have to have a f is also indicator variables. When x greater than 2, it takes value 1, otherwise 0. So that way you have to use and you have to generate the n random samples from the exponential with theta. Okay. And then you have to evaluate this probability using the Monte Carlo integration approach. And then you have to verify using the pxp command whether whatever the answer you are getting is correct or not. Okay, so this is homework. I think you can do it. So we will see that either I will, uh, of course, there is assignments are also there. So this is in the assignment. Everyone has to solve. Let A is nothing but set of xy such that x square plus y square is less than or equal to 1. Then compute area of A using Monte Carlo integration. So earlier we have seen this example, but in a different approach. We have generated a sample from the bivariate normal, and at that time we have used the polar coordinates. Here we are not going to use the polar coordinates, but I have explained the concept of the rectangular from minus 1 to 1. The x is lies between minus 1 to 1 and y is also lies between minus 1 to 1. So it means that you have to generate the two uniform random numbers, because when you write the joint density of x and y, it is giving 1 by 4, because x and y both are independently you are choosing such that the x square plus y square is less than equal to 1. So the range of x is minus 1 to 1. So it is a uniform from minus 1 to 1. So PDF is 1 by 2. And similarly, y is also from minus 1 to 1. So PDF is 1 by 2. And both x and y are independent. So you can write joint density as fxy is equal to 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. It is 1 by 4, where minus 1 less than xy less than 1. Okay. So ये आपको ढूंढना है. So whenever you wish to find out the area, how to find out the area? So area is nothing but integration over the range of A, dx dy. Okay, so you have to use the concept of uniform random variates, and then you have to calculate the area, and you have to select the indicator variable A in a such a way that I takes value such that the x square plus y square less than equal to 1. That means you have to select, you have to generate the n random numbers, say x from uniform minus 1 to 1, similarly y from minus 1 to 1, find out the x square plus y square, and if x square plus y square is less than equal to 1, that means that x and y will be selected in your study. So use that x and y and find out the estimate of the theta. That is Monte Carlo. So this is in the assignment. I think you can do it. And further you have to write the further write its R code so that it can be help you to generate. Okay. और किसी को सेमिनार में देंगे तब बोलेंगे कि भाई इसका use the library ggplot. Whatever the random numbers are generated, the same random numbers you can use to draw a circle, but you have to use the ggplot library so that you can also learn the new library. Okay, it is a one of the good library for the data visualization in the R. So that I will give in the seminar. You can note down so that I can give accordingly. ggplot. Okay. So I think we have discussed so much about the Monte Carlo integration. I'll give this some properties so that we can use later on, or you can say the notes. So Monte Carlo estimator of theta, that is theta cap MC, is an estimator of theta. Okay, then its expected value is theta. So in short, expectation of theta cap MC. What is theta cap? किसी को याद है? It is the expectation of summation I running from 1 to n f of xi by n. So 1 by n outside. But we know that x1, x2, xn are random. So it is written as a n into expectation of f of xi. And this is divided by n. So this is cancel out, and this is nothing but it is a theta, because we know that expectation of f of xi over px. Here it is over px. Okay, so it is a theta. Why? Because x1, x2, xn are pi id. Second, variance of theta cap MC. That is, whenever you find the variance, what is that? It is variance of theta cap MC is nothing but summation I running from 1 to n f of xi divided by n. So this is a 1 by n is outside, it is 1 by n square, and they are independent, so it is a summation I running from 1 to n variance of f of xi. Okay, and this is nothing but the n into variance of f of xi upon n square. And if we say that variance of f of xi is sigma square, it is a sigma square by n. If you remember, if we have considered the f of xi is xi, then variance of xi is nothing but sigma square. Okay? So this is the another way you can say that. So what is the estimate of sigma square? Estimate of sigma square from the Monte Carlo sample. It is nothing but ds square 1 upon n minus 1 summation I running from 1 to n f of xi minus theta cap mc whole square. And thus standard error of theta cap MC. What is that standard of theta cap MC? Is nothing but the square root of variance of theta cap MC. And what is the square root of? Of course, it is estimate of also that. So it is nothing but the approximately. It is a sigma square by n. But what is the estimate of sigma square? It is s square. So it is a s upon root n. Okay. So as you increase the n, what happen? Standard of the theta cap MC is decreasing. Okay. Thus, larger the Monte Carlo sample, smaller is the error around our Monte Carlo estimate. Okay. Note that this error is proportional to proportional to क्या होगा? रूट n है तो क्या लिख सकते हैं? n रेस टू माइनस हाफ लिख सकते हैं ना? Proportional to n रेस टू माइनस हाफ. Okay. So if you wish to still see Monte Carlo estimate, say whenever you find out the errors of the Monte Carlo estimate, okay, it is the error is reducing very lower rate. Okay, it is reducing with the lower rate. Why? Because n आप बढ़ाएंगे तो कितना वो उसमें कम होगा, n रेस टू माइनस हाफ जितना ही वो रेट से वो डिक्रीज होगा. But we need variance should be reduced fast, and that's why we have to use the variance reduction technique. So Monte Carlo integration से भी बेहतर आपको, if you wish to evaluate the integrated value and the estimate of that integration, so there are some other methods which are known as a variance reduction technique, and important sampling is one of the techniques. So that we will discuss later when we come to variance reduction techniques. There are 3 to 4 techniques we can see. Okay, I'll just give the algorithm. Okay, so why that techniques are better? Because it is reducing the variance, and in statistics we always say that which technique is better, which has the lower variance. Okay, so that we discuss later. Any questions, anyone, up to this? Any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So, so Okay, so this is the discuss about the Monte Carlo integration methods. Now, earlier we just discussed about the Metropolis Hastings algorithm. So, what is Metropolis? What is Hastings algorithm? So, I'll give uh, the concept of that. So, we talk about the Metropolis algorithm first, because as I say that the Monte Carlo integration, the root of Monte Carlo integration is Metropolis algorithm. Suppose our goal is to draw sample from some distribution p theta, where p theta equal to f of theta by k. So our goal is we wish to draw a random sample from p theta, where p theta is nothing but f theta upon k, where k is said to be a normalizing constant. So where normalizing constant k may not be known, may not be known, and very difficult to compute. And very difficult to compute. The Metropolis algorithm which is given by Metropolis and Ulam in 1949, and Metropolis and others, that is et al. In 1953. So our aim is that we wish to generate a random sample from p theta. It is some distribution where p theta can be written as a f theta upon k theta, sorry, f theta upon k, where k is a normalizing constant but which is unknown to us or it is very difficult to calculate. So Metropolis algorithm generates a sequence of draws from distribution. draws from distribution as follows. The thing is that here p theta, we wish to generate a random sample from a p theta. But suppose we have some idea about the f theta, where k is unknown, k is a normalizing constant. So how we can generate? So step 1 is saying that start with any initial value theta 0, satisfying f of theta 0 greater than 0. So instead of x, here our variable is theta. So let us take some initial value of theta, say it is a theta 0, and if we substitute into the f of theta, then if it is greater than 0, so that value of theta 0 you have to select. Second step, using current theta value. So now we got the value of theta as a theta 0. So use this value. Using current theta value, which is, sorry, using current theta value, sample a candidate point theta star. कैंडिडेट पॉइंट मीन्स सेम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का ही होगा. तो ये जो थीटा 0 है, ट्राई टू गेट दी another sample point, call them as a theta star from some jumping distribution. Let us say jumping distribution is Q. It is a theta 1 and theta 2. So given a value of theta 1, you can calculate the theta 2. So some jump in the theta 1, it will give you the theta 2. So that is how it is known as a jumping distribution. Which is the probability of returning value of theta 2? Which is the probability of returning value theta 2 given previous value of theta 1. Okay, so Q theta 1 theta 2 is nothing but it is the probability that if you know the value of theta 1, you can easily obtain the value of theta 2, and that is how it is known as a jumping distribution. This distribution also referred as which one? Jumping. This distribution is also referred as the proposal or candidate generating distribution. Okay. The only restriction on the jump distribution is that it is symmetric. That is q theta 1 theta 2 is equal to q theta 2 theta 1. That means whatever the jump you give in the theta 1, you will get theta 2. The same jump you provide to the theta 2, you will get the theta 1. So it is a symmetric. So that means q theta 2 is equal to q theta 1. So first you select the initial value of theta, say theta 0, such that f of theta 0 should be greater than 0. Then you try to generate the theta star, that is the candidate point, by using the jumping distribution q theta 1 theta 2. That means given a value of theta 1, you can obtain the value of theta 2, and q theta 1 theta 2 is nothing but the probability of the getting the theta 2 when given value of theta 1. Okay, so this distribution is also known as proposal distribution or candidate generating distribution. But what Metropolis algorithm is expecting, that jumping distribution is symmetric. So once you have the value of theta star, what will you do? Go to the step 3. Given a candidate point, theta star, calculate the ratio of the density at the candidate point theta star and current point theta t minus 1. Okay, so that means you have to tell this ratio, it is a phi of theta star divided by phi of theta t minus 1. So alpha is nothing but, it is giving the probability, because p theta star is nothing but f of theta star divided by k. Okay, and this is also a f of theta t minus 1 by k. So this k is cancelled out. So it is as good as that you have a f of theta star upon f of theta t minus 1. So what is alpha? Alpha is nothing but it is a probability. So step 4, once you have this 4 point, this alpha is calculated. If the jump increase, if the jump increases the density, alpha greater than 1, accept the except the candidate point. And set theta t equal to theta star. So if jump increase, alpha is here the ratio, we will also say there is a probability, but when alpha less than 1. So alpha, if the jump increases the density, so how will you identify whether the jump increases the density? So when you calculate the alpha and if alpha greater than 1, then we say that the jump has increased the density. And when it is increased the density, it means that you assign थीटा टी इक्वल टू थीटा स्टार. तो आपको सीक्वेंस ऑफ थीटा मिलेगा, थीटा 0, थीटा 1, थीटा 2. तो उसमें आपकी प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या होती, बढ़ती ही जाएगी. ठीक है. एंड रिटर्न टू स्टेप 2. स्टेप 2 में क्या है, अगेन यू हैव टू गिवन ए वैल्यू ऑफ थीटा, दैट इज अभी थीटा टी है. तो आपको क्या करना है, यू हैव टू जनरेट ए न्यू कैंडिडेट थीटा स्टार यूजिंग द जंपिंग डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, calculate the theta star, and now find out the ratio of p theta star divided by p of theta t minus 1 की जगह पे क्या हो जाएगा, t हो जाएगा ना. ओके क्योंकि अब t इक्वल टू 1 ले रहे हैं तो नीचे p थीटा 0 है, देन t1 t2 लाइकवाइज ऐसे चलता रहेगा. तो लाइकवाइज इट इज जनरेटिंग द सीक्वेंस ऑफ theta 0, theta 1 up to infinite. But suppose if the jump decrease, if the jump decreases the density, how will you identify? If alpha less than 1, then with probability alpha, alpha except the candidate point, else reject it and go to step 2. So if you wish to repeat this procedure, तो अल्फा ग्रेटर देन 1 है तो रिपीट करो, लेस देन है तो आप क्या कहो कि भाई मैं ये जो कैंडिडेट पॉइंट है उसको एक्सेप्ट कर दो, अदरवाइज आई एम रिजेक्टिंग एंड रिपीटिंग दिस प्रोसीजर. We can summarize okay, so we can summarize the metropolis sampling sampling as first computing, alpha equal to minimum of f of theta star on f of theta t minus 1, comma 1. Either alpha takes value 1 or it is a minimum of this. And then accepting a candidate point with probability alpha. In short, the alpha is nothing but it is the probability of move. Probability of a move. This generate a Markov chain theta 0, theta 1, theta 2, theta k as the transition probabilities from as the transition probabilities from theta t to theta t plus 1 depends only on theta t. Why it is Markov chain? Because transition probability of from theta t to theta plus 1, it only depends on the theta t and not theta 0, theta 1 up to theta t minus 1. मतलब previous के ऊपर नहीं है, only just current depends on the previous, not the others. Following a sufficient, बस दो लाइन है, following a sufficient burn-in period, that means आप कितने स्टेप तक जाएंगे, say k steps. The chain, that is Markov chain, approaches to stationary distribution. And samples from the vectors theta k plus 1, theta k plus 2 up to theta k plus n are sample from Px. Sample from Px. Okay. So this is the algorithm which is given by the Metropolis. you have to select any initial value theta 0. Ultimately, your aim is that you wish to generate the samples, or you wish to draw a sample from the distribution p theta, but p theta is not known to you, so that you write the p theta in the form of f theta upon k, but k is also unknown to you. So Metropolis has suggested how to generate the algorithm. Select a value of theta, say it is initial value of theta 0, such that f theta 0 is greater than 0, and then find out using this current value, generate a candidate points theta star by using the jumping distribution q theta 1, theta 2, where q theta 1, theta 2 is nothing but it is a probability of that returning value of theta 2 given a value of theta 1. But it is candidate distribution is also known as a proposal or candidate generating distributions. Jumping distribution is also known as this. The restriction is that the whatever the jumping distribution you are using, it should be of a symmetric. So given a candidate point theta star, you try to calculate the ratio, density ratio of at theta star and theta t minus 1, call them as alpha, and alpha is nothing but p of theta star upon p of theta t minus 1 is same as the f of theta star upon f of theta t minus 1. If alpha greater than 1, it means that accept this particular theta star as a theta t and continue to generate the thetas. And if it is alpha less than 1, then you say that you accept this point as a candidate point with the probability alpha. And if you don't want to accept, then repeat the procedure. And at the summary, ultimately alpha is nothing but minimum of f theta star upon f theta t minus 1 or 1. Okay. And then accepting a candidate point with the probability alpha. This generates a Markov chain theta 0, theta 1, theta 2, theta k, and so on. It as the transition probabilities from theta t to theta t plus 1 depends on the theta, not on the theta 0 to theta t minus. That is how they are said to be Markov chain. And following a sufficient burning step, after the k steps, the chain approaches to the stationary distribution, मतलब वो constant हो जाएगा. And samples from the vectors theta k plus 1, theta k plus 2 up to theta k plus n are the sample from the px. तो जो आप बाद में जो बर्निंग पीरियड के बाद जो आपको n सैंपल यूनिट मिलेगा थीटा की वैल्यू, it is nothing but it is a random sample from a px. Okay, any questions? Anyone?